We're going to be talking about a story I saw online about Lazarus Muoka of Lord Chosen, whose members allegedly want to buy him a private jet. Hi guys, I'm Daddy Freeze, convener of the Free the Sheeple movement and leader of the Free Nation in Christ. I greet you and I bring glad tidings. First things first, I want to start with an apology. I've been feeling quite bad about trolling people back, especially when they troll me first. I do this on the radio, I do this on my live, I do this in my post. I don't like it. People are my triggers. They come to my page and insult me. They come to my page and try to slight me. They come to my page and sub me. And God gave me a good mouth as a gift. So I find it unfair that you can jump at me with all sorts of insults and allegations, and if I respond, I now become the bad person. Yes, Christ has warned several times never to respond to insults with insults. So what I'm doing is not the Christian thing to do, it's just the human thing to do. And as much as possible, as a Christian teacher, I must teach you more of Christianity instead of more of my faulty humanity. So please forgive me for that. From time to time, I go off on people. Sometimes I can't resist the urge, but I'm working on myself. I've reduced it. It's not where I like it to be, but it has reduced from where it used to be. So thank you for understanding. Since this is a Christian topic, let's pray for God's wisdom as we embark on this discussion. Father, I thank you for the gift of another day, an opportunity to gather before you. Let your words be understood. Let your wisdom prevail. And Father, let knowledge of the hidden things be upon this generation through revelation, inspiration, and dedication. In Yahushua's name I pray. And all the good people in the house said a big, big amen. Today's topic is Lord's Chosen Members by Lazarus Muoka a private jet, or they want to buy him a private jet, as the story suggests. And I got this story from legit.ng. Lord's Chosen members move to buy private jet for Muoka. Lazarus Muoka, the founder and general overseer of the Lord's Chosen Charismatic Revival Movement, may soon have his own private jet, according to legit.ng. Members of the church are reportedly doing everything within their power to get their pastor his own plane. Muoka was said to have rejected the idea in the past, but members say they will go ahead with the plan. So let's discuss this from a Christian perspective. First things first, I got a pair of Versace shoes from T20 Luxury in Dubai. The shoes, they were brought to me by DHL. When they landed, I got a call from the DHL office that you have a package with us that needs to go through customs. I'm like, all right, go through customs. What can it be? And they sent me a bill of 50 something K. So I reached out to T20. I said, T20, this is your gift. It get us strong. T20 said, no, never mind. I should just forward the account details. So I forwarded him the account details and he paid. And I got the lovely pair of shoes yesterday, to the glory of God. Awesome. Now, a lot of people were beefing me, saying, Daddy Freeze, why don't you sell the shoes and give the money to the poor? The one guy said that on my Facebook, and I went off on him. It's one of the reasons why I'm apologizing. I was so upset. I said, why don't you get your own parents to sell you to ritualists, then carry the money and go and use it to give to the poor? Like you really care about the poor. Let's even enter ourselves at this level. People fighting that the freeze for tithe. If you go and dig the account details, you will see that many of them will pay tithe this month, jump tithe next month, give offering. You see, people are stingy. And they are the first to complain. They use our money to buy private jets. Really, your tithe is 10K a month. How much can private if 100 people, sorry, if 1,000 people bring 10K a month, you know they shake where private jet they. That's something we also need to keep in consideration. And there's a scripture I would like us to study very quickly. Please go with me to the book of John chapter 12. And I want to read from verse 3. Then Mary took a 12-ounce jar of expensive perfume made from essence of nard, and she anointed Yahushua's feet with it, wiping his feet with her hair. The house was filled with a fragrance. But Judas Iscariot, the disciple who would soon betray him, said, the perfume was worth a year's wages. It should have been sold and the money given to the poor. Then the clause says, in verse 6, not because he cared about the poor, he was a thief, and since he was in charge of the disciples' money, he often stole for it himself. Someone said, I'm trying to be diplomatic. No, I'm telling you the truth. You see, there are two sides of it. Christ was given this a very expensive gift because he was being anointed for burial. No Nigerian pastor is being anointed for burial. So we cannot use this as a context to say a Nigerian pastor has the right to receive such an expensive gift in this context. However, there are two contexts there. There's also the context of Judas. You that you are complaining. Are you complaining because you really care about the poor? Or because you are not the one giving the shoe or the private jet? Or you are not the one receiving the shoe or the private jet? We need to be honest with ourselves. If you're the one receiving the private jet and you have those thoughts that, this private jet that they are giving me, maybe I should give to the poor. Now, we need to check out my very good friend, the OPM General Overseer, Pastor Chibuzo. He was given a Rolls Royce that he sold and used the money to build a free school. It's a great thing to do. It's an awesome thing to do, and I applaud him for doing that. However, there's another pastor in that same Port Harcourt that received a Rolls Royce as a gift and is driving the Rolls Royce. I wouldn't say that the person who received the Rolls Royce as a gift to should also go and sell it. As long as he didn't ask for it, as long as he didn't cajole his members for it, as long as he didn't use lie to say, if you don't give me Rolls Royce, anybody that sells Rolls Royce into my life, you're going to be blessed. If he says all those things, then bad. But if the members themselves decide, now there's the long and the short. Why are they deciding? Is it because of years of brainwashing that they think that doing such a gift for their GO is giving to God, getting a private jet for God? If that's the mentality, it's totally wrong. But also, if the GO has helped them, I met so many people from OPM, from OFM, who would tell you things about their pastor. Oh, my pastor gave me this contract, gave me this opportunity to grow, helped me with this. I know somebody who is in charge of all of OPM's media. I'm talking about a multi-million naira weekly contract. He joined the church and his GO helped him grow. How will you tell that one not to contribute money when they are buying the GO private jet? It's hard. It's going to be hard. I have people who I've helped grow in the Free Nation. People are going through marital problems and they just needed someone to help stabilize. Some people needed my preaching to help them tear away from gospel fraud and being deluded and defrauded by all sorts of false doctrines. They look up to me tomorrow if they become billionaires and say, this Daddy Free self, why is he living in Lekki when he can live in Banana Island? Take the keys to a house in Banana Island. It is now up to me to take the house and move in, or take the house and sell and give to the poor. If I take the house and sell and give to the poor, it's a great thing. If I take the house and move in, it's not a bad thing. It's not the great thing. The great thing is to give to the poor, but moving into the house is not a bad thing. I've not stolen anybody's money. We need to understand this. So, where the gift came from, and the story said they had tried to give him before, he refused. Now they say, okay, we must give you this private jet. How is it the pastor's fault? How is it the pastor's fault? You see, I'm raising a nation of open-minded Bereans, as Acts chapter 17 describes them. I'm not moving you from one extreme to the other. The church right now is a current extreme. The church is fast becoming a place where minds are buried, a cemetery where healthy minds are buried. But we don't want to go to the opposite of what's probably happening in China and in Canada now, where churches are being burned. That's another extreme. We want to be able to balance things out. And when we're doing this, let's be careful not to bring in hate. There are people who will come and criticize me for my shoe. Meanwhile, they've never given Daddy Freeze any 1 naira. Forget Daddy Freeze, internet, and all those things that people from time to time reach out and support for. They've never given Daddy Freeze any 1 naira for any charity project we're doing. We bring widows. Oh, this widow is sick. This widow has cancer. Oh, this widow just lost her husband. Help. You've never brought 1 naira, but you are the first to criticize. I struggle with those kind of people. I struggle with those kind of people. Does a pastor in Nigeria need a private jet? If you ask me my humble opinion, I would say no. What for? I don't think any pastor needs a private jet. What for? None. Maybe a helicopter. I can wrap my head around a helicopter. But even that, I'll be struggling to explain it to myself. But a plane? What for? Does the Pope have a plane? Does he not get around? If you think you want to... Do you know how many Catholics are billionaires across the world? Bill Gates' wife, Melinda Gates, is Catholic. I mean, from last time I checked, she goes to Catholic church. They just gave her 70 billion, or how much was her payout out of the divorce. If she takes 1 billion and goes to give the Catholic church, the Pope will get like 15 planes. How much is Gulfstream? Is it not $65 million? If she takes 650 million out of the several billions she's going to get and say, you know what, I want to use this money to buy 10, the highest private jet, 10 of it for the Pope. The Pope will not have where to go with the planes. So it's not like the Pope is less busy than our GOs. No GO in Nigeria has the reach of Catholic Church. No GO, forget anything that anybody is telling anybody. No GO. And if the Pope doesn't need a private jet, I don't think there's any GO in Nigeria that needs it. Now, there are many things I don't need. I don't need to have more than 1 or 2 cars. I have more cars. Of course, nobody bought my cars for me. I've learned that in Nigeria, you have to have a nice car when you're going to some places, and you also have to have a rough car. Then you have to have a Toyota in this Nigeria. Any day it rains. The electric steering of my Mercedes-Benz about 1 million, just the steering. And if you drive it inside flood, now you know. So any day it's raining, we look out at the, okay, today is raining, we take our Toyota, we take our other cars. But do I really need, I could just have only the Toyota and sell all the other cars and give to the poor. That's the Christian thing to do. However, I work for my money. And my inspiration to work is the things I look at and want to buy. Nobody is inspired to give to the poor. You don't work so you can have money to give to the poor. You struggle with it. But you say, okay, you know what? I want to buy a house in Banana Island, you work. And as you're working, you're making money, and on the side, you're taking care of the poor. It's difficult to reconcile. It's difficult to reconcile. But these are our realities. I like nice, expensive watches. This I've been wearing for a while now. It's 18 karat gold Hublot. Is a better investment than land. Even if it doesn't lose 1 naira of its value, Remember, I bought it when dollar was 100 and something naira. Today, dollar is 500 naira. So just retaining its value, it has doubled in naira. It has times 5 in naira. Just retaining. Now imagine it adds 10% or 20%. You're making good profit. If you bought a house for 17 million, and now that same house is actually worth 20 million, and the exchange rate is now 80 million, but then the actual worth in naira is 30 million, you have clearly made a profit somewhere. So will I say, okay, I want to build? Yes, Christ actually instructed us to give out everything we had to follow him. Oh yes, it's a scriptural instruction, and I can't go against the teachings of my Lord and Savior. Everything. And Christ taught us that once you have food and clothing, you should be satisfied. Unfortunately, we live in a material world. One of the things that makes me drive very nice cars is the fact that if I don't drive nice cars, you will not believe my gospel. You will say that the freeze is a poor man, is hungry. Don't come here. You can say I'm recording. Yes, in your wrong commode bathroom. So you go enter live next thing they'll say picking day. Not trial. They'll say that the freeze is hungry. They'll say his gospel is not working. That's the Nigerian mentality. The gospel is not working. If the gospel is working, why is he driving a 1990 or 2009 car? If I kept only my Camry, trust me, I'll lose half of my followers. Those ones that are coming out of the church, that are using one eye to say that the free is not paying tithe, and is not hungry, and is not broke. How do you win those people when you are driving the same car for 15 years? What took them to that church in the first place? Because where they are, they want to go higher. And what Daddy Freeze does is Daddy Freeze tries to tell them that you can go higher without fasting 40 days every year, without praying 2 hours every night, without giving anybody 1 naira of your income. You can still get to that place. But then the person that is saying it does not have nice car. He does not have nice income. How does the average Nigeria with big brother house mentality, how do they figure things out? Our mentality is puerile in this part of the world. We're like the scriptures say, unthinking. Our thinking faculties are a bit twisted. You can't present a gospel to a Nigerian if you don't show him what you can do. Let me tell you something. Nobody needs to preach Big Brother to anybody. Next year, they do Big Brother, you will see 20 million people going for audition. People will jump fence and wound. Why? Because also, for instance, he don't win Big Brother nothing. His birthday, they dash him 1 house. Someone who is living with his father, who is a lawyer, and his mother, who is a nurse, and they are still paying rent, is now seeing his mate that went to Big Brother's house and came out and had a house. Which day does anybody need to preach the gospel of Big Brother to you? Does anybody need to go on the street and ring a bell? Join Big Brother. You will make it if it. Nobody needs. You see, psychology teaches us that we learn unconsciously. Seeing what's happening in the Big Brother house, people are learning unconsciously. They can see that Big Brother is successful. If you go down the Big Brother route, you will be successful. It's an easy gospel. But then, university, best graduating student, Unilag, last year, he gets 20K. At best, 500K. Do you know that if the best graduating student of Unilag every year got a Ferrari and a house in Banana Island, trust me, ain't nobody gonna be watching Big Brother again. That's when you realize that Nigerians have brain. They just need to know. As the best graduating student of Unilag is coming out every day, every year, they are giving him Ferrari, Banana Island house, and Rolex. Davido will be struggling to get people into entertainment. Everybody go there. That's when you go know say Nigerian man sabi read book. But there's no motivation. You have created a system of wants that contradicts your needs. So Nigerians now want things they don't need. We don't need a big brother, but that's what we want because of how we've unconsciously over the years been brainwashed. The last time the UK had a big brother was 10 years ago. All the UK big brother stars are Z-listers. All Nigerian big brother stars are A-listers when the big brother is on, and worst case scenario, B, C listers. It has created a mentality. So how would you feel if Daddy Freeze walks down the street preaching this his new gospel? New, it's the original gospel, but it seems new to you because you've been fed another gospel all your life. And he's wearing torn shoes, he's driving an old car, and then he's preaching to you about God, and you live in a country where big brother is more valuable than a medical degree. You don't understand. An average big brother house mate is probably making more than a doctor. What am I saying? More than a surgeon in this part of the world, not a doctor. There are sons that don't earn as much as what these big brother Nigeria people are earning. So how do you, in a country whose mentality has been tuned, the ILS of our mentality has been tuned to that frequency, how do you now preach a gospel to people who cannot even intercept your ILS in the first place? So you sit down and you could take a scriptural verse in order, in context. Look, Christ said, give away everything to the poor. If I give everything to the poor, you're not going to hear my message. I'm not saying Christ is wrong. I'm not saying I know better than Christ. I'm just saying in this Nigerian context where seeing is believing, enter somewhere with your nice car, you will win some followers. Enter somewhere with a celeb. Let me ask you a question. If I wasn't doing my Muoka interview, Hush Puppy interview, all my celeb interviews, I was just coming, I would struggle to have two people following me. What is now the use of a message that you cannot get to the people? The message is supposed to, me and somebody that is preaching in a bus. What's now the difference? I enter a bus and I preach to 20 people in that bus. I can't enter more than 10 buses a day and preach. I've preached to 200 people. Only on Instagram, I have 170 some. Today is not even one of our. Sometimes on Instagram, we have 700 people watching. Or YouTube, or Facebook. Then I post the video, another 5,000 people are going to come and watch it. I'll be silly if I went into a bus to preach. I won't get what I'm getting now. But for me to get these numbers, you want to see the Hush Puppy interview. So far, I've done interviews with Timaya where we spoke about intellectual things. I've done interviews with Vector, who's one of the most brilliant minds in entertainment. I've done interviews with Kemi Olunloyo. I've done interviews with Regina Daniels. I've done interviews with all and sundry. My Hush Puppy interview is the only YouTube video that I have that has crossed 600,000 views. And you don't understand that as the people are watching, they are subscribing. The Muoka interview I did, that's about 1 million views on Facebook now, was done in the middle of a preaching session. What is it doing? It's bringing people to the message. Let's think. So if Christ said, go and be fishers of men, I am fishers of men. I am a fisher of men. I'm bringing the men. I'm preaching the gospel. I never neglect to preach the gospel. And one of the ways to bring the numbers in a country that has been twisted mentally is by laying it down the way they understand. You can never use an MTN line to make calls via a Etisalat network. Your phone is not configured to tune that frequency. So you would be dialing and dialing and dialing and not getting any result because you're not tuning into their frequency. There's a frequency that currently operates the mind space of a Nigerian, and that frequency is material. That is why they can sell you such a gospel that if you don't pay tithe, things will be tight. One pastor the other day came out and said, those who don't pay tithe but give to the needy will soon join the needy. I'm here waiting for Jeff Bezos, Warren Buffett, Bill Gates, and Elon Musk to join the needy because they don't pay tithe, they give to the needy. But people still believe these pastors because we have a material mind, a mind attuned to material things. So now Daddy Freeze coming out, I've preached. There were times when I didn't have followers. Why? Because I wasn't growing. I had my old Free Nation followers and my message was circulating. The moment I started doing Tonto Dike interview, I'll get 5 people from Tonto Dike. I do Bobrisky, 5 people. Before you know it, the message is getting to those who really need it. Now, am I doing everything a Christian is supposed to do? Let me not lie. No. But I'm in my own heart, hoping the good Lord understands me, that by me driving the car I'm driving and wearing the clothes I'm wearing, I stand a chance to get more people than if I didn't have these things. Nigerians don't listen to a broke. Now, how do I fund this lifestyle? I work round the clock. Ask Tazebud, she would tell you, I work. And when I now work for my money, I fund my lifestyle, which is still a message that is preached to people who are tuned to a material or tuned into materialism. Someone is saying, my first time watching Daddy Freeze live, but I think you are so materialistic centered. If I'm materialistic centered, what are your pastors? You, what are you? How many poor people are you following? How many poor people's gospels are you following? All the people that preach to you, do they not show their private jet and all the big things they have? Some will not show private jet. They wear 5 naira shirt, 2 naira trouser. And then you see the church auditorium of 55 billion that they used to build. The camera will sweep around the auditorium. You will know that it's not poverty. You can't get those things with poverty. If I ever ask you to fund my lifestyle, I want to get a new Rolex, for instance. Come and fund my Rolex. Then you have a problem. Then you should have a problem with me. If I want to get a new car and I say, hey guys, I need you to get me a new car. Or you say, Daddy Freeze, come and preach to us in the US, and I say, give me a first class ticket. If I want a business class ticket, I will upgrade whatever ticket you buy for me. But I have long legs. If you don't have money, buy me economy. The only thing I will not do is I will not fly Egypt Air. I will not fly Air Tunisia. I will not fly all those. Get me Turkish Air, British Airways, Virgin Atlantic, normal airplane that I can trust. That will not carry me and pass over war zone. That I will not do. Get me economy. If you love me too much, get me premium economy. If I have money in my hands, I will upgrade. But I'm not going to come and preach a message to you that you need and I'll buy my ticket to come and preach to you. Watch my video. It's okay. You want me in person? You're going to have to pay for it. Now, me telling you to charter a private jet for me is wrong. Me telling you to buy a first class ticket is wrong. Me telling you to buy me a business class ticket is wrong. Now, you can decide that this Daddy Freeze, I love him so much. I want him to be comfortable in the trip. Let me buy him a business class ticket. That's not wrong. That's not wrong. Fine-tune your moral compass so you know what really is right and wrong. If tomorrow they bought me a ticket, some people say, Daddy Freeze, they bought him ticket. What do you expect me to ride a camel to the US? Or to get on a donkey and the foal of a donkey? I know where to draw the line. I like luxury things. I like good things. I'm coming from the entertainment industry where I was for 25 years. I don't like football. All my life I've been a luxury buff. I'm not going to come and start liking football just to please you people and then end up being depressed. What I do is I make sure I'm working, and if I like a pair of Gucci shoes, or if I like a pair of Versace shoes, or if I like a Rolex, I save up for it. I'm not going to put you under pressure to do it. No one's ever bought me a Rolex before in my life. This is the first time anyone's ever buying me Versace. Ever. So let's keep that in perspective. And that's as far as I can go. Need to go somewhere with taste buds. I'm still coming back. I want to talk about Bobrisky and Hush Puppy. People are saying, Daddy Freeze, why did you visit Hush Puppy? Daddy Freeze, why did you allow Bobrisky into your home? Later on this evening, join me as I scripturally address this issue. And I hope that we're able to move forward as a people, as a nation, as a church, with the knowledge we have gained. Thank you so much, all of you. God bless you. See you later on in the evening. I think I'll advertise maybe 30 minutes before I come live, so you know I'm going to be live. And it's going to be another banger. Make sure you join me. Take care. Stay blessed.